Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. If it is your first time here, you're welcome. In today's video, I'll be showing you how to draft this stylish neckline, both the front and the back. I'll be drafting the upper part of the bodice. I won't be drafting the full tutorial, but if you want a sewing tutorial, you can let me know in the comment section and I'll make that video available. Right now, I'll proceed to drafting the stylish neckline of this bodice. First off, I'll start by marking my shoulder to my bust line of 9 inches, my shoulder to my bust point of 10.5, shoulder to my under bust of 14.5, shoulder to my waistline 16 inches, and shoulder to my length or to my half length 17 inches. I'll proceed and extend with a straight line just as shown, and after that I'll proceed to marking my shoulder measurement. Right now I'm just labeling it so that we're not confused on how we're going to go about drafting this pattern. So first off, I'll mark my shoulder measurement. My shoulder is 16 inches divided by 2. That will give me 8 inches. So I'll mark that on my bust line and on my starting line, and I'll come down by 1 inch for my shoulder slope, and I'll be marking 4 inches for my neck width, both for the front and the back. But for this tutorial, for now, I'll be marking the 4 inches for the front pattern, and I'll be coming down by 7 inches for my neck depth, for the front neck depth. You can do 6 inches depending on how open you want your chest to be, but for this tutorial and for me, I'll be marking 7 inches for my neck depth for the front pattern. So I'll proceed now to marking my bust round in order to cover my armhole. My bust round is 42 inches divided by 4. That will give me 10.5. I'll mark that measurement, come to my armhole line, go in once at the midpoint by 0.5 inches and curve out my armhole line. I'll proceed to marking my nipple to nipple measurement. My nipple to nipple is 8 inches divided by 2. That will give me 4 inches plus 0.5 inches of sewing allowance. That will give me 4.5. I'll mark that measurement from the bust point to meet my hem, that's to my length, and I'll be taking my dart for 1 inch on both sides. Now this is a Bustier Princess dart, so I'll proceed to taking 1 inch on both sides. You can do 0.5 inches if you're a smaller bust person, but I'll be doing 1 inch for mine. So I'll proceed to curve my dart upwards to meet my bust point. And from my bust point, because I took 2 inches of dart at the hem, I'll proceed to coming down by 2 inches as well from my midpoint of my armhole. I don't know if you understand what I'm doing. This is the best way you can draft your bustier and you won't have any issues. Come down, but if you take 2 inches of dart, come down by 2 inches from your midpoint of your armhole, then extend outwards as well by 2 inches. Now that 2 inches you extended outwards, you're going to come to your bust line and also extend by 2 inches. If you are taking 3 inches of that, please replicate the same at the coming down of the armhole, that's the armhole line, and also extending outwards by 3 inches and also extending on the bust line by 3 inches. But because I took 2 inches, I'll be doing mine 2 inches. So I proceeded to drafting my new armhole line. I'll just be adding my sewing allowance of 2 inches to both my bust line and my waist. Now my waist is 38 divided by 4, that will give me 9.5, plus 2 inches of that taking and 2 inches of sewing allowance. I've gone ahead to mark that. So I'll proceed now to cutting out my pattern. Please watch how I cut out the pattern, and if you have watched to this point, please give this video a like so that YouTube can push out my content and other people can be able to learn from me as well. Now I'll proceed to cutting out my pattern this way. We won't finish cutting it because we have to draft the neckline. So I'll just cut out the shoulder slope, and I'll open up my pattern because we need to draft the neckline. I'll notch my shoulder, that's my shoulder slope. I'll notch it because of my neck width. So after opening it off, I'll now go ahead, take my ruler. That place we notch, we want to make a curved line to meet the place we notched. I don't know if you understand. Please just watch the video. This is the picture of the neckline for the front pattern. So we want to go ahead and make sure we curve out the neckline exactly as shown on the thumbnail. If you want the exact neckline, this is the exact neckline. You see how it's looking like? It's looking exactly like what's on the thumbnail. That's what you want to have at the end of the day. So after covering out your neckline, you can make it deeper, you can make it longer, whichever one works fine. So we'll proceed to cutting out our pattern. So this is how I want to cut out my pattern. I'll first of all cut out that part. You see that part I made a mark? We're going to cut out that part. Now if you draft your princess bustier this way, I promise you won't have any issues. You see that aspect of you joining your patterns together and one side will be longer than the other. you won't have that issue if you draft your pattern this way. Everything will align. You want to make sure that your patterns are exactly looking like mine. If you take 2 inches of that at the hem, at the half length, you go outwards by 2 inches, you come down from the armhole by 2 inches. That's the trick for Princess Bustier. You want to go ahead and draft your pattern that way. If you're a beginner, please draft your patterns correctly before you place on fabric. So right now I'm just cutting out the neckline, and this is what we have at the end of the day. Now the next step is for me to go ahead and pin down my pattern paper to see what we have at the end of the day. I usually take my time to do this step so that you see how the outcome looks like. I like to see the outcome of what I have at the end of the day, and this is what we have at the end of the day. Now if you're going to be making this outfit, for your bustier to come out looking nice, please ensure you pad your bust area. Ensure you pad to your under bust. Either you use wadding or breast cup or breast pad, whatever you want to use to pad it so it comes out looking nice. This is what we have at the end of the day. You can see there's no gaping, there's no, everything is aligned properly. So this is what you want to go ahead, and this is how you want to go ahead and sew down your princess bustier with the neckline. So because the neckline is a bit close, I want to go ahead and just give it a little trim. I want it a bit wide at the curve, so I proceeded to doing that, and now we have the perfect neckline. This is what I want to have at the end of the day for me. This works fine for me, and this is what we have for the front pattern, and we are done with the front pattern this way. So right now I'll proceed to marking the back pattern. The back is straight. I'll be using a normal dart for the back, so I've gone ahead to mark my zipper allowance of 1 inch. You can do 1.5, but I'll be doing 1 inch. I've gone ahead to mark my shoulder to bust line, bust point, and my length. I've gone ahead to mark my shoulder strap of 1 inch, my neck width of 4 inches. My neck depth for the back is 1.5. I'll be covering my neck for the back just as shown, and I'll proceed to marking my bust round measurement, and I'll also be marking my nipple to nipple measurement. But for the back, I want my dart to be 5 inches, so I marked 5 inches for my back. I added 1 inch for my nipple to nipple measurements. That's 4 inches plus 1 inch, I'm making 5 inches. So I marked that, and I'll be doing a basic dart for the back. So I went in 1 inch on both sides for my dart. You can do 0.5, whichever one works fine, but I'll be doing 1 inch for my back darts. So right now I'll just add my sewing allowance of 2 inches as well. For the back pattern, I'll repeat the same measurements and my dart taking, and I'll proceed to extending the lines just as shown. You want to ensure that your back pattern comes out looking like this. On the waistline, I'll go inwards by 0.5 inches. This 0.5 inches helps you to have a straight back. Your back will align and to look very fine. This is to avoid zipper bulge and for it to come out looking snatched. If you draft your back pattern this way, I promise you your outfit will come out really looking nice. So after that, I'll go ahead and cut out the pattern just as shown. And if you have any questions regarding the drafting of this pattern, please leave it in the comment section. I'll be sure to reply. You want to proceed to drafting your back pattern this way, and after cutting out, I'll place it side by side and align, and I'll be doing a little adjustment at the waistline. You want to ensure that if your pattern comes out looking like this, you fold in your darts, you see that the hemline is not straight, go upwards by 0.5 inches on 1 inch, and rule a straight line, and you align it together. So I'll fold in my dart now just to further explain what I'm trying to say. I fold in my dart. You can see I have that line is not straight. You can see it's not straight. So I'll proceed now and go upwards by 0.5 inches. You can do 1 inch if that's what you want. 0.5, and I'll just roll a straight line, and that's all for the back pattern. I'll cut it out so that we see what we have at the end of the day. I'll place it side by side. You're going to do for both patterns of the back. I just did for one side just to illustrate and show you how it's going to look like, and this is how you want to draft your back pattern. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Until I come your way again. Bye.